Ladies and gentlemen, today, I want you to think about one question. What is the biggest fear holding you back right now? Maybe it is the fear of failure. Maybe it is the fear of rejection. Maybe it is the fear of being judged by other people. Whatever it is, understand this. Fear is one of the most powerful forces in human life. It has stopped countless dreams, destroyed opportunities, and convinced talented people to settle for less than they were capable of achieving. Yet when we study history, we discover something remarkable. The greatest men and women who ever lived were not fearless. They did not wake up every morning full of certainty. They did not have special powers that made fear disappear. They simply learned how to move forward despite being afraid. One of the greatest examples of this principle is Alexander the Great. More than 2,000 years ago, a young man from Macedonia decided that fear would not determine the limits of his life. At an age when most people were still trying to figure out who they were, Alexander was leading armies into unknown lands and accomplishing things that many thought were impossible. His story is not simply about conquering nations. It is about conquering fear, doubt, and limitation. That is why his story still matters today. The lessons that helped him achieve greatness can help every one of us face the challenges and win our own lives. Fear is a natural part of being human. Every person experiences it. Even the strongest leaders, the greatest athletes, the most successful entrepreneurs, and the most respected public speakers have faced moments of fear. The difference is not whether fear exists. The difference is how people respond to it. Most people see fear as a stop sign. They feel nervous about something, and immediately they turn around. They avoid the opportunity. They stay inside their comfort zone. They convince themselves that the risk is too great. Over time, this habit becomes a prison. The comfort zone feels safe, but it also becomes smaller and smaller. Dreams begin to disappear. Confidence starts to fade. Potential remains hidden. Alexander understood something that many people never learn. Fear is not always a signal to stop. Sometimes fear is a signal that you are standing at the edge of growth. Sometimes fear appears because you are about to do something meaningful. The things that change our lives are often the things that scare us the most. Imagine Alexander standing before a battle. The enemy army is larger. The outcome is uncertain. Nobody can guarantee victory. At that moment, fear would be completely normal. Yet Alexander did not wait until he felt comfortable. He did not wait until all uncertainty disappeared. He did not wait until all uncertainty disappeared. He moved forward anyway. This is one of the most important lessons for success. Many people spend years waiting to feel ready. They wait for confidence. They wait for perfect conditions. They wait for a guarantee that everything will work out. But life does not offer those guarantees. The people who achieve great things are often the people who take action before they feel ready. They understand that confidence is not something you gain before action. Confidence is something you gain because of action. Every time you take a step into uncertainty, you become a little stronger. Every challenge you face teaches you something new about yourself. Every fear you confront weakens its power over your life. Think about your own life. How many opportunities have you missed because of fear? How many dreams have remained unfinished because you were worried about what other people might think? How many goals have been delayed because you felt uncertain about the outcome? These are important questions because fear often disguises itself as logic. It tells us we are being realistic. It tells us we are protecting ourselves. It tells us that now is not the right time. But many times, fear is simply trying to keep us comfortable. The problem is that comfort rarely creates growth. Growth happens when we challenge ourselves. Growth happens when we step beyond what feels safe. Growth happens when we decide that our dreams are more important than our fears. Another powerful lesson from Alexander the Great is that every battle is won in the mind before it is won in reality. Long before soldiers enter the battlefield, the outcome is often influenced by what people believe is possible. If you believe you cannot succeed, your actions will reflect that belief. If you believe that failure is inevitable, you will approach every challenge with hesitation. But when you develop a strong mindset, everything changes. Alexander believed that obstacles could be overcome. He believed that challenges existed to be conquered. He believed that limitations were often illusions created by fear and doubt. This mindset gave him an enormous advantage, while others focused on reasons why something